see how to develop an app like for sign up activity and login activity. So how we need to do. So here is a problem. So we need to create a sign up activity where it should be having a username and password. Okay, for this username and password, validation should be done. So here they have mentioned validation of password should be happen based on the following rules. When you are doing a validation for the password, we need to follow these 4 rules. The first rule is password should contain uppercase and lowercase letters, and password should contain letters and numbers. Password should contain special characters. So the validation of the password should be based on the following rules. So password should contain uppercase and lowercase, and it should contain letters and numbers, and it should also contain a special characters. Where whatever the password validation will be done, password should be minimum length of a password should be 8 only. Okay. So once you successfully sign up, we need to proceed for the login activity. So that is the first thing. So here user should sign in using the username and password. Okay, whatever the sign up process, in the sign up process, whatever the username and password has been entered, so that username and password should take in the login activity. So created during the sign up activity. So if the username and password are matched, then navigate the next activity which displays the message successful login. So once in the login activity, if you have entered the username and password correctly, when you click on the sign in button, so it should go to the next activity and it should display a message successful login. So if it is not correct, it should toast a message that login has failed. Okay, login failed. And one more thing they have mentioned here in this question is the user is given only 2 attempts. Okay, when you log in with the username and password, if you have done any mistakes in the password or a username, it's only attempts for 2 attempts only. So if it exceeds more than 2 attempts, if you are wrong, type the username and password wrongly, if it is exceeds, it should display toast message saying that failed login attempts and disable the sign in button. So once it displays a toast that is failed login button, and this sign in button should be disabled. So use bundled for transformation information from one activity to another. So let's see how to develop a sign. So now before starting with an Android Studio, I would just like this to say that what are all the elements required in an XML file. So one is, if you want to display a sign up activity, okay, we need to require, okay, here we need to have a text view, one text in the sign up. This is a one activity, and this is one activity, and this is one activity. Okay, this is one activity, and this is another activity. So in the first activity, sign up activity, to display sign up activity, we need one text view, and for the username, another text view, and password, another text view. And for this, entering the username and password, we need to have a edit text, that is plain text. And for sign up, this is a button. So same here for the another activity. So let's see how to develop. Let's open Android Studio. So while opening Android Studio, it takes time depending on our speed. So it takes time. to load the Android Studio. So when we are designing this, we need to make sure all the constraints, what all the constraints has been specified here. We need to have a proper constraints and all. So when you are entering the username, that is email, we will be considering the username as an email ID. So it should have a proper email ID. And while entering the password, it should not display the proper password. It should display in a dot dot dot. Likewise, we should take care on that. While in the XML, we have an option input type so that it won't display the actual password. So to load Android Studio, it takes time. So here, what I am going to explain is when you sign up activity, so it should toast a message that it has been successfully signed up. Okay. So and it will go for the activity of login activity. Once if you have successfully signed up, it will go for a login activity. So here you will be entering the username and password, whatever you have been entered in the sign up activity. So then if you click on the button sign in, so once it is successfully logged in, so it should go to the another activity. Let's see how to create like that. So we should so we should go for a file, new and new project. So you should select an empty activity. So next, so here I will be giving sign up, like the sign up app. Okay. So this all the constraints you need to have in your while you're creating a project, you're configuring your project, language Java, and minimum SDK is 21. So you can click on the finish. So as soon as you click on the finish, it takes time to load or configure your project. So whereas it has to configure your XML and it has Gradle has to be built for a whole project. So in the previous sessions in the theory concepts, as I said about the intents. So you should when you are doing this particular sign up activity application, we should be aware of about the intents concepts also. So because when we are moving from one activity to another, the intents are used here. So and also in the previous theory sessions, I have said about set on click listener, okay, view dot on click listener, all those things. So you should be aware of that concepts. Okay. So if you have not aware, please go through the videos which have been uploaded. Okay. So here is an XML file where we get initially when we create a new project. So what the thing first you should do, you should delete the default text view and delete it. Okay. So first look at what are all the concepts is required for this first. So let's design this first one. So we need to have a one text, three text views and two plain text, one button. So let's design this first part, that is sign up activity. Okay. So here I will be taking text view. Okay. Please listen, watch it carefully. Okay. I will zoom this out so that you can view properly. So, okay. Sorry, I forgot to tell you before you are designing the your XML layout. First, make it this to relative layout. Okay. First, you need to make this as a relative layout. Then you go for a design part and take it a text view. Okay. So you make the view, that is text view, relative to the layout. So, and then you can drag and drop wherever it is required. Okay. So first thing, I'm going to change the text here. Okay. Select this text view, whatever you are done. So change it to sign up activity. Okay. So let's make it, let's go search for an attribute size, change the text size to however you want. You can change the text size. I will give it 36. Okay. Then I will change the style of the text where it should look familiarly. So I will change this to bold. So it's not changed. Let's say, yeah, I need to click bold. So it gets bold. And I will change the text alignment to the center. Text alignment here, make it to the center. Okay. So if you want, you can change the text color also. If you want, you can change the text color. Okay. So next, I will take one more text view. So as soon as you make the text view that is relative to the layout. So then drag and drop wherever it is required. So here the text should be text. What the text should be? That is username. Okay, text should be user name. So make that to size should be 10 so that it should be visible to the users properly. I will change it to 25 SP. Okay. Then I'm going to take for the username. So if you want to put next is edit text, go for in the palette, go for a text and you will be seeing the plain text. Select the plain text and make it relative to the layout and drag and drop wherever it is required. So I will put over here. Okay. And I will remove the text here and I won't give any text. I will make the hint as email ID. Okay, I will make the hint as email ID. Okay, here it displays like an, see here it will be displaying email ID. So, and one more thing you need to make input type. So whether it should be only an email ID, not any text. So I will make this input type. Okay, so input type here it is text person name. I will make this as a false and I will select here. So there is text email address here. See over here, I will select this and I will enable this. So it becomes true. Okay. So why this is means you need to enable this text email address means, so whatever you are going to enter, it should be only an email, not only the text. Okay, that is why input type should be an email only. Okay. That is about first text view and plain text. So next I need to enter the password. So I will go for a palette and I will take text view again here and make the text view relative to the layout and drag and drop wherever it is necessary. So when you are designing an UI, it should be in a proper way so that it should be legible and easily understandable by the user, and it should feel good to the users. So you should be in mind, keeping in mind that whenever you design the thing. So for this text view, I will change it as password. So and I will make that size and all. Size I will change the size attribute to 25 SP. Okay. So for this password, to enter the password, we need a text, edit text, that is plain text. I will drag and drop the plain text. I will make the text relative to the layout. So common key here. So as I said, you should remove the text and you should give the hint. Okay. Sorry, here hint should be like password. Okay, or enter password or just password is it fine. So hint has not came. Okay, so that is about password. And one more thing we should remember here is input type. So input type should be a password. Okay, so it gets type here sorry, input type. So for before that you need to select that particular plain text and then go for an attributes and search for type. Here you will get an input type. Here also you should make this text password. See here there is an option called text password. You make this as enable this, so it becomes true. Okay, so there if you enter any password, it should be displaying only the dot buttons. So I will make here int password. Oh shit, sorry. Text view. Int password. Okay. So next, what we have done, we have made then two editors for to entering the email and password. Next, we need to have a button. Okay. So just drag and drop the button and make sure that button to be relative to the layout and drag and drop where it is required. And okay, so here what you need to enter the text as sign up, right? So you need to enter it as sign up. Okay, so then you can change what if you want to change the size of this text. So whatever the size you require, you can change the text. Okay, I will make here is 35 HP. So or you can change it to however your look should be. You can change that. And you can also change the style of a text. I will make this as a bold and italic, and you click on that. I can change the style also. So if you want to change the style of the text, you can go like this, and I will make the color of the text so that it can be visible. Text color. Then go here and we can click red. It's not visible. Wait, I will change the style. We can look like this. Okay, if you want, you can take like this, or if you want to change the style, you can change over here and you can do however it is required. Okay, so this is the first thing. Okay, so this designing of a XML. So once you design, make sure you go for the code part. Okay, go for the code part here, and you need to have a proper ID for these three views. That is plain text and button, you should have a proper ID. So let's change the default ID. So here there will be a default ID. So what I will make here is email edit text. Okay, I will make this as an email edit text, and for this edit text I will make it as password edit text, and for this button I will change this ID as for this password I will change the ID as sign up button. Okay, I will make this as a sign up button. Okay, so now we are done with the XML part, that is design part. So let's go for activity. So what you need to do here first? So first we need to have a variable objects for the edit text and button. So edit text, what are all the edit text we have been used? Email, right? Email edit text and password button edit text. Okay, so then we have a button, that is sign up button. Right. So these two need to declare for the edit text and button. So next, after declaring it, we need to find those edit text and button in our activity. So what we need to do? So email edit text is equals to find the view by ID. How we are going to find? Resource dot ID dot. So what is the ID name? What we have for the edit text is email. So semicolon. So likewise, password edit text is equals to find view by ID or dot ID dot password EP. Sorry, here it's two bases escape. So next for the button, that is sign up button is equals to, we need to find the button also, find view by ID or dot ID dot sign up button. Okay. See, if you have declared here in the XML layout these IDs properly, so as soon as you type, the suggestions will occur. Okay, so you can select just by going with, you can select it. So now, see what we need to do here in the layout. So as soon as you click on this sign up button, so okay, as soon as you click on this, as soon as you click on this sign up button, okay, as soon as you click on this sign up button, so it should listen what action to be performed. Okay, so for that we need to use on click listener, set on click listener. We need to set the on click listener for the button. So I will take sign up button dot set on. So if you will get the suggestions, so there you can select on click listener. So if you use select, so within that you need to pass a parameter here, it needs to. Okay. So once again it's a mistake. So let's take this once again. So for this button I'm clicking the set on click listener. Okay, new, need to have an instance, new is view dot on click listener. So as soon as you click, so as I said in the previous sessions, when you are using a view dot on click listener, we need to override a method on click. Okay, it means, so once you click on the button, we should set an on click listener for the particular button. So when you set that, so you will be using view dot on click listener. So what this will do, whatever the click will be done to the button, it had to execute the function method for that particular button. So here we are going to write. So first, what we need to do. So in this XML, as you enter this email and password, it has to fetch those details what you have been entered in the plain text. For that, I will be taking string email is equals to email edit text dot get text dot. You need to convert it on the string. Okay, so here this email edit text is here. You have been identified that particular plain text and you have been stored in the email edit text. Okay, so that we are taking here. So likewise for all the plain text also. String password is equals to password edit text dot. You need to get that string dot, convert it to string. Okay, so fine. So what the question has been given, so you need to validate the password. Okay, you need to validate the password. So how we need to do validate? So if not equal to valid password. Okay, if it is not equal to valid. So what it has to check, that is password here. So whatever you are going to enter in the edit text, it will be stored in a password variable. Okay, so that we are passing to the is valid password. Okay, so I will tell this to what we need to do here. So here we need to toast a message. So here, if the username and password does not match, we need to toast a message. Okay, we need to toast a message here. So for that, there is a function called toast. So toast means, see, for example, if you have just to understand this toast, I will say in just simple example that, so if you send a message, the delivery report will come in an bottom of your device, message delivered. So it will be there for a seconds and it will vanish. So that is a toast. Toast dot make text. Okay, toast dot make text, where it has to be displayed main activity dot this. Okay, what should be the message? That is enter the valid password. Okay, so whatever the message you want to display, you can put the message over there. Okay, comma. So toast dot. So these are two options: length long and length short. How much of time it should be visible on your device? So long. Okay, we should show that toast. That is show. This is how you toast a message. So here you are getting an error, right? So I will tell you how to rectify that error. First, we need to write the code full, and then we need to write. So it is a method where you are going to check the password. So we need to write the validation part for this particular method. Okay. So first we'll write. So if you click on that error, if you press Alt Enter, it will show an option: create method is valid, or else if you click here, you will get a red bulb. Here you can have an option is valid method. So what you need to do, just create it. So if you enter, the particular method is created. Okay, so what we need to do here? Okay, so before that, what they have been mentioned, password should contain uppercase, lowercase, letters, numbers, special characters, and length should be 8 only. Okay, so for that, here we need to use a class called patrons. Okay, we need to use a class called patrons, where so it is for a regular expressions we need to use a patron. So okay, so before writing this method, let's complete this part on create method, then we can go for a validation part. Okay, so first I will tell you this complete on create method, what are all the concepts we need to write, then I will go for this particular validation part after completing this on create method within the code in the on create method. Okay, so I will take this as written. Okay. So here, so after this, what you need to do? So if it is after validating, what we need to do? We need to pass that to the another activity. So for that, we need to use intent. Intent. So object has been created. New intent main activity dot this from main activity to it has to go for a one more activity. I will take that activity as login activity dot class. Okay, here you will get an error login activity because still now we have not created the login activity. So that's why it's getting. Once you have created the login activity .java, the error will not be there. Okay, so here we need to use a bundles, that is intent. What the intent object has been created, intent we need to use put extra and email. So we need to pass this email. Okay, so likewise intent dot for both the email and password. Password like this password. So you are passing this to taking as the bundle. Okay. So next after that, so if you're done with this, it's not enough. After this, we need to start activity. Start activity. So what you need to pass as an argument, you need to pass the intent. What the intent have been created, because in the intent you have passing that from main activity to it has to pass on to the next activity, that is login activity dot class. Okay. Okay. So this is about the. So next we validate the password. So as I said, so there is a class called pattern where it takes in regular expressions. Okay, so I will make what are all the things we need to use: lowercase, uppercase, and numbers and special characters. So for this we need to write pattern. So first we will do for a lowercase. Lowercase is equals to pattern dot compile. So here you can see here. So here pattern dot compile, where this particular method takes regular expression. See, as this code only takes. So pattern dot compile string, it passes with the regular expression. So you need to pass the regular expression. I will take see the suggestions also shows there are two types of compile method. One it will take only regular expression, one it will take regular expression and integer flags. Here we are using only the pattern dot compile with only arguments as a regular expression. So dot so I am using only the small letters A to Z. Okay, so A to Z dot dollar star. Sorry. Okay. So I think I have made a mistake. One second, guys. Double quotes. Okay, within the double quotes of power dot star square brace A to Z dot dollar symbol and star. Okay. So next is I will take for it as a pattern. For uppercase I will do uppercase is equals to pattern dot compile, same as that, but it's just an uppercase dot star capital letter A to Z dot star dollar. So next I will make this for the number also. Pattern I will take this as number only. Number compile pattern dot compile with a regular expression for numbers. So within the double quotes, power dot within the square bracket 0 to 9 dot star dollar. So one more thing I have forgot here, we need to use star. Semicolon. So then these three cases has been done: uppercase, lowercase, and letters. So that is numbers. So the password can also be contain special characters. So how to give the special characters? That is pattern special characters is equals to pattern dot compile. Okay, here we need to specify other than characters and numbers. Okay, forward dot, so within the double quotes we need to specify the regular expression for the special character. So if it includes within the square bracket, if you have chosen the power symbol, that is it should accept whatever you have been mentioned inside the square brackets. It will accept A to Z, so lowercase and small case and numbers, only the special characters can be entered. Okay, so these are the 4 things you need to have it here. So here we will be writing the code. So we need to validate the password. So how to validate the password? First, what we need to do, we need to check the length of the password. So if before he clicks on the sign up button, it is going to validate here. So it is going to check with this particular method whether the entered password is correct or not. So that's why you have written a method is valid password, where it takes it returns the boolean value, so that is true or false. So I will check first, that is the entered password length. I will check the length of it. Okay, length, that is less than 8. Okay, so what I have to return false. Okay, so next first condition I have been checked. So next, if it is not equal to lowercase dot, there is a method called matcher, where it takes an argument character sequence, where it is going to match with what the password has been entered. So this method is in the pattern class. So you need to pass password here as an argument. Okay, so that it has matches or not. Okay, so this, if it doesn't match, return false. Okay, so likewise I need to check for if for the, if we have checked for a lowercase, we need to check for a uppercase. Same wise, matcher, need to pass this password to the matcher as an argument, and you should match this. Okay, then it will return false. So done for a lowercase, uppercase, and then we need to check whether you have been entered number or not in your password. Password dot matches. So return false. Okay, so if it is all true, if it is satisfied with all the condition, we need to return true. If it is not satisfied only, then only you should return false, otherwise you should return true. Okay, so this is about main activity, that is sign up part. So now we have done with this sign up part, right? Okay, we have done with the sign up part. So let's create another activity for login purpose. So first we have created the activity for sign up. Okay, and we have written a code with and also we have checked with the validation part and the email part also. So here, okay. So next, click on the Java folder. I will select this. Okay. Here, click on the magnifier and right click, new, go for a activity. Here you will be seeing empty activity. Click on the empty activity. Okay. So if you click on the empty activity here, you change the name to login activity. So okay. So all will be the same. You have to enable this, and you need to click finish. Okay. So as soon as you click finish, see the error which is coming in the main activity, it has been vanished. See here, because I have created an activity for login class. So here the error is gone. Okay. So now let's see with an activity.login. Okay. So here I will go with the design part. So what we need to do, same as in sign up activity, we need to create a login activity. So I will take, so before that, what you need to do, you need to go for a code and you need to make this as a relative layout. Okay, you need to make this as a relative layout. Okay, so now I will go for a design part and I will take text view. Okay, I will take text view and make relative to the layout. Okay, I will make this as and align it properly. So now I will change the text. That is what here I am going to do, sign in activity. So okay, I will make this as a sign in activity. Let's change all the size. I will change the text size to 36 SP. Okay, and I will change the style of the text. Okay, I will make bold, italic. Okay, I will align the text to center so that it can visible properly. Okay, so this is how I've done. Okay, so again I need to have a one more text view to have a username. Okay, so make relative to the layout. Okay. So I will select this text view. Okay, I will change the text to username. Okay, so and I will change the size also. I will make this as 20, sorry, 25 SP. Okay, so for this username we need to have a go for a text in the palette, go for a text and take plain text. Okay, why? Because we need to enter a email ID. Okay, so name, here go for remove the text and give the hint. Give the hint. I will give the hint as email ID. Okay, I will give the hint as email ID. Okay, so I will change the type. One more thing we need to remember here is we need to change the input type. So because we are entering an email, so you just uncheck this text person name and search for the text email. See, if you scroll here, you will get an email text email address. So enable this. Okay. Okay. And I will change the size, whatever you have will be entering it. I will make it as 25 sp. It will go far, so I will make 18 sp. Okay. So next, I need to take one more text view and make it relative to the layout. And after that, sorry. So keep move that particular text view. So I will change the text to password. Okay, I'll change the text to password, and I will increase the size so that it can be visible properly. Okay, and again I will be taking a plain text to enter the password, and drag and drop here. So I will make the text size here 20 sp. Okay, so I will remove the text for this particular plain text, and I will give the hint, this password. And one more thing we need to remember here is we need to change the type of this plain text, input type. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to disable this, and you need to use this text password. You need to enable, make it as true. So after that, we need to have a button to sign in so that it can move to the next page, that is login successful. It has to display once we click on the sign in button. So for that, we will be taking a button. So click here. So I will make this button name as sign in. Okay, so I will be changing the size to 25 sp, and I will change the style. So if you want, you can do all these things, style and all. Okay. Okay. So now done with the design part. Okay. So now we go for the Java part. What we need to do here. Okay. So first, as you have been did in the main activity, we need to declare a edit text. Oh, so sorry. Before that, what you need to do, you need to identify the ID and all. So go for the, you select this. So here you need to change here. What is this? Email. So you need to change. You need to give proper ID for the thing. ID text and button. So I will take this password, edit text. Okay, password, edit text. So next I'm going to change with the sign in button. So here I will be giving sign in button. Okay, now go for the Java part, and here you need to declare edit text. Okay, email edit text, comma, password edit text, and we need to declare for the button also. Button sign in. Okay. So here within the onCreate method, same as what we have done in the sign up button. First, we need to identify those through the method find view by ID or dot ID dot. So when you are selecting this, it should be properly selected, because what the name you will be selecting here, that should get matched with the XML layout what you have been specified here. Okay, don't get confused. And password edit text is equals to find view by ID or dot ID dot password edit text. And for the button also, sign in button is equals to find view by ID or dot ID dot sign in button. Okay, after identifying what we need to do, so through the intent we need to get those, through the intent we need to get what the in sign up activity what we have been enter the password. So for that I will be using string or what the email you have been used for the sign up purpose. Okay, registered email, we need to get intent. Through the intent we are going to get the email ID. Okay, that is get string extra email. Okay, see here what you have been used here. Okay, when you are using a put extra, then from one activity to another activity you are going to get those string as an extra. Okay, then what the things, first you are getting the registered email ID and then string registered password. Okay, need to get those things. Dot get string extra password. Okay, so now, okay, so you have been entered, you will be going to enter the registered email and password in the sign up activity. Okay, so then what happens, we should use a method set on click listener and view dot on click listener as we have used in the main activity for the sign up activity. Okay, so for which button, for where we need to use, for the sign in button. As soon as you click on the button, the function should exit. So okay, sign in button dot set on click listener, we need to create view on click listener. So as soon as you click on it, it will be overriding the on click method. So once you click, you need to get that string. See, once here you will be entering the email ID and password. If you click on the sign in button, whatever the email ID and password you have been entered over here, it should get that. So for that, we need to get the email and password. So through the string, it's a string where email is equals to, okay, so what you have been entered in your get text dot to string. Good. Okay, string password is equals to password edit text dot get text dot to string. In the sign up activity, what the email and registered email and password you are going to enter to sign in that page, that value you are going to get it. Okay. So what you need to do here, so you should match with the registered email and what you have been entered the email. So for that, if registered email, okay, whatever the registered email should get compared with the actual email what you have been entered. Okay, you should compare only email? No, both you need to compare email and password. Okay, registered password dot equals with the password. Okay. So how we are going to compare? So what you need to perform here? So if it is equals, so if it matches with the registered email and password, so what happens if you click on the sign in button? If it is matched with the correct email ID and password with the sign up and login both the things, then it has to go for the next activity where it should display a message login successful. For that, if you want to go to the next activity, you need to create an intent. Okay, you need to create an intent. So on there in the intent you need to pass the arguments. Okay, so that is, so from where to where it has to go? Login activity dot thus comma login success activity dot class. It has to go for the login activity dot class. Correct. See here now you are getting an error. So once you create this particular Java file, so the error will be gone. Okay. So once it, if it is it enough to write just this code? No. So once you have created an intent, passing them from one activity to activity, you need to start that intent, right? You need to start that intent and by passing the arguments. Okay. So okay. So that is if part. If it is correct, you will go with the one login activity to login successful activity where you are going to display a message login has successful. So else, so if it is not correct, what it has to do? Okay, if it is not correct, what it has to do? So if it is not correct, we should toast a message that login attempt has been failed. Okay. Should toast a message. Toast dot make text. Okay. So you should get, here we need to pass a method base context. Okay, comma, we should tell login attempts exceeded. Okay, exceeded. So the length should be toast dot length long. Okay, we need to toast that show. Okay, this is how you get. So once it exceeds that, what has to be done? You need to disable the button. So sign in button dot set enabled, you make it as a false. Okay, so here one more thing you need to remember here is you should take here int counter is equals to 2. Okay, so this is the only one error we are getting. So once we create with the new activity, this error will be gone. So now what we need to do? So here we have mentioned it has to go for a, if it is registered with a proper email ID and the password, it has to go for the login activity dot this to the login activity dot class. It has to move to the next class. So let's create one more activity. So I will do one thing. So to avoid the error, what I will do, I will copy this thing, the only the login activity success. I will go for the Java folder I will right click and create a new, and here I will go for an activity, and there I will be selecting empty activity. So here you will be getting the option. So here activity name I will mention as login success activity. Okay, all the things will be defaultly correct. So click finish. Okay, so as soon as you click finish, see here in this particular thing, the error is disabled, gone. Okay, so now what you need to do in this login success XML file. So here go for a design part and take one text view. So before that, sorry, before that, go for a code part. Here make the layout to relative layout. Okay, make it to the relative layout. Okay, so now you go for a design part and take a text view where once you click with the correct user ID and password, it should display a message login successful. That's why we'll be taking a text view. Okay, so I will give the message as login successful. So I will change the size of the text to, okay, and I will align the text alignment should be done to the center. Okay, and I will change the text style also. Okay, this is the, it should get displayed. Okay, so here let's see with them one by one. So here we have created a project with the main activity, where in the main activity XML file we have done with the design part, that is to enter the sign up activity username and password. For that we need to, if you want to enter the username and password, we have taken plain text, email ID and password, and once you sign up button, it should toast a message that sign up created properly. Okay, so that is sign up button. So in the next as soon as you click on the sign up button, it has to move to the next activity, that is sign in activity. So here in the sign in activity, we need to enter the username and password when we are used in the sign up activity. Whatever the email ID and password we have been used in the sign up activity, okay, we need to enter that email and password, and we should click sign in activity. So if you click sign in activity, it has to move to the next activity, that is you should get the login successful. Okay, so now let's run this program. So before running, I will my emulator is not working in my laptop, so I will just connect my phone so that the output can be seen properly. Okay, just I will see here as soon as you connect, so you can get the proper real device or running device. Okay, so I will start this program. So I will start running this application. So it takes time when you are doing lateral build running is there. So remember, when you are writing, you should make sure proper validation should be done. Okay. So until then, I will share my screen in my laptop. So for phone. So now it's installing. So it's a Gradle has been built successfully. There is no errors. So now the application is installing. See, as soon as the application has been launched. So okay, now I will enter. So what the password constraint is, let lowercase, uppercase, number, and special characters. Remember that. So it has been successfully logged in. Okay, so I will enter with the same. See, login successful. So I will go back for the same activity. See here, I will be not entering proper. See, enter valid password. So you'll be getting enter valid password. So if you have not entered properly, you will get the correct password. Okay, I will do one more login. I will sign up. Okay. So what I will do, I will type something. See, login attempts exceeded. So that disabled. Okay. So this is about the sign up activity.